Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this special occasion. On behalf of Golden Sparrow Hub School, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each one of you present here today. A very special welcome to our esteemed guest of honor, Mr. Muzaffar, whose presence adds grace and importance to this event. We are truly honored to have you with us. Let's take a glimpse into the vibrant world of our school through this short video.
I'm so sorry, I couldn't hear no answers.
Christina ma'am, we cannot hear. Christina ma'am, we cannot hear the video.
Can't hear?
No, we can't hear.
It's okay, ma'am. Let's go ahead. We'll play it at the end.
Sure, sir. It's my honor to introduce the visionary behind our institution, the founder of our school, Dr. Daud Ved. Dr. Daud Ved is an avid reader, a teacher trainer, and an author. His book, The Education Riddle and Talk, are available on Amazon. He has completed the certificate course on assessment and teaching of 21st century skills by the University of Melbourne. An engineer and an MBA, he leads the curriculum development team at Sky Education with focus on establishing skills lab across schools. He resides in Mumbai and can be contacted at 9987 060 330. It is now time to welcome our distinguished speaker, Mr. Muzaffar, whose insights and experience will surely enlighten us. Mr. Muzaffar is a facilitator, author, consultant focused on facilitating emotional well being, counseling, and training. Mr. Muzaffar has been a part of a supporting open and alternative learning and growing communities like home education and unschooling. We extend a warm welcome to invite him along with my wonderful co-host, Dr. Daud Ved, to share his thoughts with us. Let us welcome them with a big round of applause. Over to you, sir.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think we are all excited to hear Muzaffar sir. And this is the stage where the idea about this whole webinar every month is to find someone a gem in our industry in education. And as sir says, there are there are not many voices in the education alternate schooling field. That's what I would love to do, and hopefully I'll open the floor. Also, since I have got the mic and a little occasion to celebrate, is this young learners from our academy who have done wonderfully well in the world of education. These are students. So when we started Golden Sparrow, the idea was, can we make it large and reach out to students who perhaps do not have the privilege of a school nearby, great teachers nearby, or to pursue something along with the education. That was the idea. Sparrow is a endangered species in India. I grew up with a lot of sparrows around. Today we don't see them. I see the same thing happening for schooling and our creativity in schooling. And hopefully one sparrow at a time is what we will, achieve by just making them large. I wanted to share three success stories. That's all. So all of you out there, the first success story is the NIOS itself. And in NIS, I wanted to share about three young, bright children who have done exceedingly well. So these are three students who are from different walks of life. On your screen is this young girl, Jasmine, and if some of you can recognize the flag is she is staying in Moscow. So when her father Sarajit ji contacted me, I think Jasmine was our first OCI student. She doesn't have Aadhaar card, and the first thing I was like, Christina ma'am, without Aadhaar card, do we even register her? It's a risk we took, and thanks, this father has been patient with us, and for all the teachers who've been done. Sabia ma'am, you're one of them. Shazia ma'am, you one of them. Jasmine outscored herself. She flew down to Uttar Pradesh, not even in Mumbai. She does her NIOS 12th examination. Her certificates were all different, and NIOS gave the base for this child to succeed further in life. So wherever this girl goes, we're proud of a first OCI card holder finishing a 12th with us. So that's the story of Jasmine. This is perhaps an AI generated picture of Sabir. He looks more handsome than that. And when you see Sabir, you will see all my teachers smiling. They cannot hold their smiles and laughters. This boy is someone, perhaps with his father, we had a challenge that Sabir pass nahi ho sakta hai. And I think I had to go reach out to Sabir's parents and tell him that Sabir, was a child who we did not believe, except for me. And perhaps, I was over the naysayers. It's my teachers who started believing this boy can do well. Today साबिर succeeding is a sign of showing के जब आपके अंदर एक will होती है, जब आपके अंदर एक जज्बा होता है ना, आप खुद ब खुद पढ़ाई करने लगते हो. Sometimes I'm not celebrating 99% like ICSC or 100% in English. जब मिलते हैं तो मुझे लगता है इसके आगे opportunity होती क्या है. But what I'm celebrating is parents who've chosen alternate fields and they've come out successful. So I think all these kids have made us very, very proud. Sabir, for sure, he's not only made us proud, he made us smile, he made us have tears in between. पढ़ाने के time teachers की पता है रोते भी होंगे शायद, but this boy did something amazing. And I thank all the teachers in Golden Sparrow and people who believed in NIS making it successful. My third and last story is about Panida. Panida came from Thailand, Thai mother, Indian father, a, a child who was so disturbed at the time of admission. I remember another student of mine, Love Patel, and Golden Sparrow also, doesn't mean you have to be part of Golden Sparrow. Love he wrote it independently, he just got his father, and when he passed, it was a personal success for me. She's a friend of Love Patel, and he comes here and says, sir, she has no idea, she doesn't want to study. I looked at a previous course, studied in Poddar for some time in Navi Mumbai. I said, Panida, you should not give up. I said, sir, I have nobody to back me up. I keep traveling. I don't have my papers with me. I thank the administrative team in Golden Sparrow who believed, who trusted. I take up all the difficult projects. Muzaffar sir, we're speaking about projects not working. My only job is to take up difficult students. Then I think Joyce ma'am is there. Ho jayega kaam. I think, I think my team is there. Kaam ho jayega. Panida's success is, trust me, it's the HR team success. All these three students, these three kids, I would say, young teenagers from Moscow, from Thailand, from India, they have made NIOS a little more prouder than it was. I met the director, assistant director of NIOS. He came with his family on a short trip, and I shared this success story. He said, these kids need to be felicitated. The successes need to be spoken about in the NIS circle, and hopefully we'll be sharing the stories very soon. It's a victory of every single one who believes online schooling is possible. It's not just Golden Sparrow Online School. I have great friends across, Go School, Birlas, and 21K. It's a large pie. We have to do our best to make our education wholesome, entertaining, and meaningful. And I think these are the words my wonderful friend whom I have yet to meet in person, Muzaffar sir, will take forward. So, sir, the dais is over to you. I love to hear you now. And thank you so much for all of you being part of this webinar today.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, and it was very exciting to hear all these success stories, and definitely it requires work, effort, and commitment, and I'm grateful for the commitment you all have been putting in this, and providing more options to the students, because there can be different circumstances, and one size does not fit all, and you need to have more multiple creative solutions, and to meet different circumstances, individualities of students. So I'm very grateful for the work you are doing, and happy to hear all this. And let's come back to our topic, that is about connecting. How to connect within ourselves. That is first. How we can connect with life in us, then how we can connect with life in our children, and how we can have connection between each other, between us in our children, or it could be other human beings also, where life gets hurt instead of disconnection getting created. Okay. And my work is inspired from something called as non-violent communication. And by teenage I had developed intention for myself that love all and contribute to all. You can choose to be very kind, but I was also holding some questions. I was also seeing some challenges that it is not enough to have unconditional love, or it is not enough to have a giving heart. And how tragic it can be when these very qualities, like you want to love people, you want to contribute towards people, especially parents, they love their children, they do their best to contribute towards their children, and still we see conflicts happen. And these conflicts, they can be easily avoidable when we can put our attention on some basic things, simple things, where we can focus our attention. Okay. And in our culture we have got ways of communicating, language, thinking, okay, which are very habitual, we get habitually from our cultures, which create a disconnection. And we are going to see what can be the other options which we can use. Okay, I'm sharing a slide.
Yes, sir, we can
Okay.
see it.
Yeah. So unconditional love, self service, it helps to have intention. Always it is good to have intentions, but despite having intentions, there can be conflicts. There can be conflicts within ourselves. There can be conflicts with children or with other people. So what we can use is we can use needs consciousness. So I will straight, because we have limited time, I will straight go to the core idea. Everything we humans do, that is an attempt to meet some need. From birth till death, every action, every behavior. Okay, we can go to the first day of life. What do we see? We see the child is crying. Okay, first day of life, the child is crying, and then we try to sense what what can provide comfort to the child. Okay, we may try to feed the child. Okay, when the child is crying, we try to guess, we may try to feed the child, we may try to check that is the diaper wet, we will try to change the diaper, or the child is having difficulty falling asleep. Okay, so the child is having needs on the first day of life, and till our last day of life we are going to have these needs. Okay, I invite you to write in chat. So what are the needs you can think of? You can write in chat. I want it to be more interactive, but we are having limited time, so I invite you to write in yeah, safety, care, nutrition. Yes. Okay, when we think about needs, there can be basic survival needs. Okay, shelter, safety, we need food, we need water. Okay, basic physical needs, but beyond that also there are many other needs. Okay, I said everything we do is an attempt to meet some need, and the behavior could be going to school, dancing, eating, sleeping, building houses, doing job, getting married, dating, hitting somebody, killing somebody. Every behavior is attempt to meet some need. Okay, any behavior from morning to night or like from birth to death, that is attempt to meet some need. So there can be basic sustenance needs: food, water, air, survival, protection. These are basic survival needs we have. Okay. Then there are some needs which are related to other people. Okay. We have need for company. That is where we have friends. We have need for appreciation. We have need for understanding. We want people to understand us. We have need for acceptance, belonging, trust. We want to trust people. We have need for touch, intimacy. The young child, the baby is not getting touched. It is going to have very severe influence on the baby. Similarly, adult also they have need for touch and intimacy. We have need for attention, to be seen, to be heard. We have need for community. Okay, we want to contribute. We are need to contribute to others people's well-being. So in relation with other people, we have these needs. These categories are not important. I'm just trying to tell you that which are the needs we can have, means through which needs life is happening. Okay, now I am not giving you the needs list of these needs. These are the needs which you can say God has given, or the evolution has given it, of the biology. It could be DNA, it could be in our DNA, it could be in our genes, whatever could be our belief. We may believe that God created us, we may believe in evolution, but here on this earth, we have been put with all these different needs. Who is not having these needs? Somebody is not having life. So long life is there, then these needs are there. Okay. And then we have spiritual needs. We have need for meaning, purpose. Life seeks some meaning, purpose. We seek honesty. There are needs for order. We have need for love, beauty. Like we just do not pick any cloth and wear it. We have need for beauty. Or we go out and we enjoy the nature because that fulfills something in us. We have all these needs. We have need for harmony, fairness, peace. We need peace. We want people to be authentic and we want ourselves to be authentic. We want integrity within ourselves also. We have need for creativity, need for self-worth, then celebration, play, laughter, ease. And there is also important need need for autonomy, need for choice. Even a toddler, 2 or 3 year age old toddler, you say something to the child and the child immediately may say no. Brush the teeth? No. Sleep? No. The child has need for autonomy. I want to have choice. Okay. Many times you must have seen, you cannot force me. I want to do the things my way. I want to have choice. Very important need. Many wars, many conflicts, they are being fought to serve this collective need for autonomy. We want our own rule. India also had this struggle of independence, Azadi ki ladai. So many conflicts world over. This is a very important need. Autonomy, choice, how you want to live, how you want to be governed. So these are the needs. Okay. So this is a part of us. This is life for us. Okay. And to be more compassionate, to be in the space of empathy, we can connect with life. There are already some means people use. People may use vipassana, people may use meditation, people may use breath. There are many other means which people use to connect with life. And here, in the consciousness I practice, which I find useful, we try to connect with life through the consciousness of need consciousness. To connect with life, we try to connect with needs which are there in us, moment by moment, from life to death. Life, moment by moment, is flowing through the expression of human needs. Okay, now we can focus our attention. I'm going to discuss four important components where we can focus our attention. One component is we can focus our attentions on needs. Second, moment by moment, our body can go through changing emotions or feelings. Okay. Can you share in the chat what are the emotions, feelings we experience? And anybody want to share from where these emotions come? What are the emotions and from where the emotions come? Anybody would be willing to share? Okay, I will give you one example. There is a teen girl and she has gone to party with her friends. She was supposed to return by 11 p.m. Now it is 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m. Mother is trying to call her. Her phone is unreachable. And then at 1 a.m., still the girl has not returned. So what could be the emotion feeling in the mother?
Tense.
Anxious. Yes, thank you. The mother could be feeling very anxious, could be feeling very worried, could be experiencing some fear. Okay. So these are the emotions. Which are the other emotions? Okay, there can be emotion of joy also. Sometimes we experience happiness, sometimes we experience energy, sometimes fear, sometimes worry, sometimes anxiety, sometimes frustration, sometimes sadness. From where the emotions are coming? The mother is feeling anxious in this case. From where the emotion is coming? I would want you to share, but for lack of time, I will go ahead. So the emotions, they come in relation to our needs. When the child has not returned home, the mother inside her, she has need for safety of the child. When the need for safety is not getting met, she is feeling anxious. Okay, I am traveling through jungle. I am standing in front of tiger. What emotions most likely I am going to experience? Suddenly a tiger appears in front of you. Can you write in chat? Fear. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Scared. Yes. Okay. Naturally, within fraction of second, our body is going to go in fear. This is the emotion that is happening. From where the emotion is coming? Because body has need of survival and safety. When the tiger appears, your need for survival, safety is in danger. So you experience fear. Similarly, toddler child is running on the street and the car is approaching. Again, mother will experience fear. From where fear is coming? Because she has need for safety of the child, which is not getting met. From there, the emotion could be coming. Or somebody may call you idiot, or you don't understand. What do you experience inside your body? Could be anger. Okay, could be sadness, which could be irritation, because I have need for understanding, because I have need for respect. My need for respect is not getting met. There is a need inside me, need for respect. My need for respect is not getting met. Immediately some emotions comes. Could be anger. Okay. So and we can compare this for need for speed. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So we experience hunger, we experience thirst. Okay, even cells in our body, they know that they have need for glucose, nutrition. When that need is not getting met, we experience hunger. Need for hydration is not getting met, need for water is not getting met, we experience thirst. Okay, similarly, all these emotions, they are messengers. They are signals, they are our friends. Like they are coming with message, some signals. And we can try to listen to this emotions, feelings, and we can try to process them. Okay, many uh, philosophies related to emotional well-being, they stop at emotions. Okay, what is emotion inside you? But here we go one step beyond the emotions. What is behind the emotion? From where the emotion is coming? We try to connect with the need behind the behind the emotion. Okay, in society, in culture, like people could be telling you, don't worry, don't fear. Okay, these are the emotions you did not have, these are the emotions you can suppress. But these emotions, they are messengers, they are signals, and we can choose to process this. If I am experiencing something, some emotion, then what could be the need involved here? What could be the need involved here? Okay, so moment by moment, this is a emotional intelligence skills which we can practice, we can learn, as well as we can help our children to learn. Okay, moment by moment, we can try to connect with what is alive in me, or what could be the alive in other person, or in the child. Okay, how we connect with what is alive? By connecting with feelings and needs. Okay, so this was the second component where we can focus our attention, what are the needs. See, moment by moment in our environment, something is happening. That something happening is somebody doing something, somebody saying something, somebody called me idiot. Moment, this is something which happened in my environment. And that something is having this something happening is having influence on my need for respect. That is having influence on my need for respect, and then I experience emotion. I can experience irritation, sadness, anger, or something happening in environment could be the tiger appeared in front of me. That is having influence on my need. Okay, something happening in environment could be the teen girl has not returned home, and then that is having influence on some need in the mother, and she is experiencing some emotions. Okay, so these are the two things where we focus our attention. But and moment by moment we are trying to get our needs met, but many times we try to get our needs met in very tragic ways, using a language, using a communication which makes it difficult to get our needs met. For example, when the teen girl came home, mother can say, you have become so irresponsible, so you have become so careless, you are going to kill me and your father. Okay, she wants to communicate her need, she wants to give a gift, she wants to give a gift of safety to the daughter, but she is giving this gift in such a tragic ways that you are going to kill me and your father, and you have become careless, which is difficult to receive, difficult to hear for the teen girl. And then she could also be making her story that my mom is very controlling, she is very angry, and she may go inside and the door get slammed. Okay, this way, when we are using this language, then it becomes giving and receiving becomes difficult. Moment by moment, we try to give to each other. So how this giving and receiving can be made possible in easier ways? Okay, so we many times use very tragic language of labels. We focus our attention on who is what. Okay, what is good, what is bad, this is appropriate, that is inappropriate. Okay, my good can be your bad, your good can be my bad. Okay, for example, in certain cultures, okay, wearing hijab, that can be good thing to do, because for the person it is meeting need for safety, dignity, grace. Okay, for this person this can be good thing to do. Same thing for the person in other culture, that person may say that is the suppression, and that person may have need for freedom, choice. Okay, they may wear different other kind of clothes. Okay, the clothes may be short, and for that person that could be a good thing to do, but the person in this other culture, that can be bad thing to do, like you are wearing so much short clothes and you are exposing your skin, kind of. So my good can be your bad, your good can be my bad. So instead of going in this, what is good, what is bad, that is one game. Who is right, who is wrong? Or in our arguments, we argue about who is right, who is wrong. So instead of going in this, who is right, who is wrong, that is the one game. We can shift to other game, how to connect with each other, instead of going in these labels. Okay, there is a poem from Rumi: out beyond the ideas of right doing and wrongdoing, there is a field. I will meet you there. Okay, so we try to meet people in this field where there is no idea of right or wrong. We try to connect with each other. Okay,
Mustafa sir, I think just wanted to add a little bit. So
yeah,
beautifully you shared. I wanted to add two things around.
yeah,
One is this entire slide. It's not only beautiful, the colors, but the words. And I wanted the parents out there just to read this. This the effort that you put into this. How many of us use some of the words for our children? A simple word is like never, or not today. They are words like you are wrong, you are a failure, you are dumb. I quickly want to know if parents just say yes or no or pick up some word. We've called our children immature. I think I'm guilty of doing that. Sometimes I've been violent to them. This slide, if there's nothing you learn from the entire webinar, and only use these are not the words to use in a slide. So any parent would like to just pick up a word and share, because there's so much effort that I think sir has put into it. Irresponsible, that's a word out there. Can anybody pick up some words? I don't know if our Google Meet allows us to annotate, but sir, I'm just taking a small diversion part. Anybody, any parent? I,
Careless, careless.
Careless. All right, there you are. Aparna ma'am is honest mother out there. We have used so many words around. Oh, Madhya ma'am, thank you. Behave yourself is one of the words. Sir, this itself, if I'll request you, if you can only use this slide and put it in a parents group, I think we'll take a. But because we're talking a lot of negative, I want to introduce one child which is almost past her sleeping time in Japan. I would like this little girl to come and speak that she's prepared something, and we'll continue our last 7-8 minutes of our webinar to close and ask questions. So can I interrupt and get this little girl Amina in all the way from Yokohama, Japan, sir?
sure,
So can
yeah,
you just
Okay,
unscreen your
yes,
screen, please? Thank you.
we will unshare this. Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, I would like to invite Amina Amir Khan to come forward and recite an heartfelt poem dedicated to her father on account of Father's Day celebration at our school. Let's welcome her with a big round of applause.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I am Amana Khan from grade 2, studying in Golden Sparrow Hub Schooling. Today, I would like to dedicate a sweet message to my dear father, my superhero, my daddy. I am so lucky to have you. You are my strength. You are my teacher. You are my role model. Daddy, you are my best friend. You always make me laugh with your silly joke and help me complete my work. Thank you for always being there for me. I love you so much. Happy Father's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Amina, for that beautiful and touching poem. Your words truly captured the
Thank you,
love
ma'am.
and respect we have for our fathers.
Wow, Amir sir must be so proud, Amina. And he's a superhero. Is he also mummy's superhero, Amina? Quickly check your, with Amir bhai.
Yes.
Yes.
Ah, yeah, he's scared. He has to say, Mama is the superhero of all. Thank you so much, and good night to you.
So
You
true,
better
so
go to
true.
bed.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Amir sir. You have a lovely daughter, and all the way
Thank you,
from
Amina.
Japan. You better attend the first class tomorrow, Amina. Yeah, it's
Bye,
Monday.
Amina. Thank you so much, Amina. Bye.
See you, sir. Thank you so much, Amina. And Sir Muzaffar, sorry I interrupted you. This girl's been
Yeah.
amazing. But I think what this slide showed is so beautiful. It's the conscious parenting that Amir sir is doing with his children, and you can see the result. I think I'll let you take over, sir, and complete your session.
Yeah. Yeah. So many times I communicate with parents, and I keep hearing that my son has become very aggressive. My daughter is very demanding. I just ask them what happened, what the person do, and we hear this kind of messages. And that both is the hair, my child is very stubborn. Okay, these labels. This is a very static language, and challenge is when we use this kind of language. First is like that creates pain in the receiver. When I'm calling somebody lazy, or that is a very dumb thing to do, uh, these kind of things. Okay, or in adults also, what I am sharing is not just applicable to the parents or parenting of child, but in adults also, like when we speak with each other, when we use this language of labels, or we call this language of evaluations, meaning making, interpretation. This is very hard, difficult to hear, that creates pain. Second thing is there may not be shared understanding between people. Okay, wife may say to husband, you always criticize me. That can be painful to hear, and there can be disagreement can happen. Or somebody, like in a party, somebody cracked joke. The person could be needing meeting his need for fun, and the other person may say, yesterday in the party you insulted me, I was humiliated. Okay, for this person it is a humiliation. The For the other person it was just a fun or cracking a joke. So shared understanding may not happen, and many times our dialogue get in distraction. Like we will be discussing that whether it was insult or not, it was humiliation or not. This way, we dialogue can get distracted. Okay, so what can be the alternative? And good thing is, life can happen without using all these words. We need not use this language, and this language of judgments, and from where it comes. Like our language has become so rich that we have got words for everything. If somebody is needing a lot of attention that I want to give, that person is clingy. And somebody is not providing me attention, that person is aloof, insensitive, inconsiderate. If my boss is asking for more than I want to provide, then my boss is very demanding. If my worker is not producing as much as I want, then the worker is very slow, lazy. So for every situation, we have got words. If somebody is not talking as much I want, that person is introvert. If somebody is talking more than I want, that person is very extrovert. Where is the scale of standards? It is in our needs. Okay, so life can happen without using all these words, this language. So where we focus our attention, we focus our attention on observations without going to meaning making. So what are observations? Observations are what I see, what I hear, what was said, what I heard, what I remember, without mixing these meaning making, interpretations, evaluations. Observing just like the camera observes. Camera is not going to tell you all these meaning making. Camera will just show you that okay, the door of shop got opened, somebody came in, a woman came in, and the salesperson put 4 mobile phones on the counter, and after a minute, a zip of her purse got opened, one of the mobile phone which was in her hand, it got put in purse, and after 1 minute door was opened, she left. Okay, so camera is going to show you what it saw and recorded. It is not going to tell you that theft has happened. That is the meaning we make. Similarly, when we are making this meaning, my child is very aggressive, very demanding, or you always insult me. These all are, or somebody is very arrogant, rude. These all are our evaluations interpretation, and we can stay focused on observations. Okay, what happens when we make observations? And before that, Jiddu Krishnamurti has said that observing without evaluating is the highest form of human intelligence. What observations do is they create safety and shared understanding. I can give you one example. It is usual for us to say to the child, you broke the vase in the living room. और हिंदी में तुमने वास गिरा के तोड़ दिया. That is one option that may create pain. And in language of observation, same can be stated that I saw that you were running in the living room, your elbow touched the vase on the table, the vase fell down, broke into pieces. In these two, with which the child is going to agree more, that you broke the vase or like your elbow touched
first
the
one.
vase.
Sir, the
Yeah.
first one. Any normal people will always state the first statement. No one is going to describe it with the second one.
Yeah, and that can create pain. Okay, and I can give another example. In a school meeting in America, one teacher said that the other teacher, he said, she always yells. And after hearing, the woman said, who yells? Okay, now this woman, she was from African American culture. And for her, it was a usual language of speaking. And after a while, when she started yelling by the standard, then people could see the difference. So my yelling may not be yelling for the other person. Okay. This happens with child also. Like the child may say, you are always angry. For you, it may not be anger. But the child may say, you are shouting, you are yelling. So shared understanding may not happen. Or when wife is saying to husband, you always criticize me. That is the interpretation. Husband may not know what is this about, but wife can use language of observation, that yesterday evening you told me that you are always putting less salt in vegetable. So this way observation can be shared. Now the husband can say, yeah, I said this thing. A husband can agree with that, but the husband may not agree with that. I always criticize. For the husband, it may be suggestion. He's trying to educate, he's trying to contribute. For the wife, that can be criticism. And this way, like, we keep arguing. So when we can use this language of observation, then more shared understanding and less pain creation can happen. Okay, I can give one simple example to put these components together. Okay, mother can say that you always are making your room dirty. Just pick these dirty socks and put them in laundry basket. Now here it is a demand. There is a language of evaluation or interpretation. Now whatever we are discussing, this can be communicating differently also. Okay, now observation can be, when I see one socks on the table, one socks under the bed. That is observation. Okay. When I see one socks on the table, one socks under the bed, then now what is happening inside me? When I see that, then I experience irritation. I feel irritated, my feeling. From where my feeling is coming, I have need for order in the house. My need for order is not getting met. From where I am getting this feeling of irritation. Okay, this way, like, we can connect with ourselves. What is happening? How I am feeling? How I am needing? And we can use the language of needs and feelings to communicate and observation. Now, pain creation may not happen. Okay, many times this happen that child has created a nice battlefield in the room with the Lego blocks, and you go inside. ये क्या गंद मचा के रखी है तुमने? ये क्या गंदगी या क्या फैला के रखा है room में? Okay, the room is scattered. For you it is scattered. For the child it may not be scattered. So this way it can be shared. For you the socks may be dirty, but for the child socks may not be dirty.
If I can add two things, Muzaffar sir, very beautifully that you shared. Change your words and change your world. I think today in the session, that if I can summarize and take some questions from the participants, sir, I love the way you presented an idea and the everyday example, the socks or the Lego blocks, and I think you summarize it in this Jidda Jana Krishnamurthy's summarization is observation without evaluating. As parents, just from a parent perspective, we sometimes just see what is exterior and we immediately either blame, criticize, judge, analyze, evaluate without even knowing the rationale behind it. And that is where pain comes from. I think what you created, if people can take back, and even I shared in the homeschoolers group that entire page of negative words. I love this, sir. I have to, we are school, so we know our timetables. So can I just let a couple of questions come your way, and you can summarize some of these questions?
Sure.
I'm sure parents have few beautiful ones. We have a parent, Madhya ma'am. She always have a couple of questions. We'll only take one from her and one from someone else. Can anybody put the questions in before we get over to Mahira and Sabia ma'am? Anyone like to put a question on the box or let us know what Muzaffar just shared? So if you had to summarize your session in a line, what you just shared, and I'm sure there are longer sessions that we love to do with it, but for the sake of Sunday dinner plans, how would you share your sessions in a line? What is the key objective outlaw of this?
Yeah, the language is very important. The words we use very important, and connection is important. We need to be connected within ourselves. Use from connection with life. We are connected with life. What are my needs? What are my feelings? As well as something I wanted to discuss, empathy. Okay, empathy is connecting with people where they are, receiving others how they are, what is feeling in them, what is needing instead of how I want them to be, instead of how I want the child to be. Okay,
So
and how
Madhya ma'am
we,
wrote a lovely word: connection, communication, compatibility. I think your entire session could be put in those words, and I love the way you added. Sorry, I interrupted. Please go ahead, sir.
yeah, and instead of demanding, like in that socks example, instead of demanding, we make request that would you be willing to put this socks in the basket, laundry basket, this way. Like for each component there can be a session, like for everything we are discussing there can be at least 2 hour session, but we have limited time, and within 2-3 minutes I want to discuss important concept of empathy. So and I can share simple example that in our workshop a mother shared that my child, every day the child used to say that I do not want to go to school, I do not want to go to school. In the workshop she learned something. Next day, and she said that every day she used to explain to the child that why it is important to go to the school. Next day, again the child said, I do not want to go to school. Then the mother tried to guess, means, is there any issue with the teachers, with the other children? He said, no, 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 no. Like, and here we suggest people, you try to guess the needs and feelings of the other people. And it helps, like, why it helps, I can, but it will take time. But we try to guess other people's need, and she tried to guess. She said, "Okay, no, no." And then he said, it's all about the future, mom. These teachers and the people at the school, they everybody, they keep saying that you learn, you will get grades, then you will get job, and you will get married, you will have house. It's all about the future, mom. Like, and the mother said, okay, okay, so you at school, you want something which will be useful for you in this at this time, in this moment. She said, yeah. And then phone rang. She went to attend the phone. After 5 minutes, she came back, and the child was ready, going to school, wearing school uniform. And that is a power of empathy, like connecting where people they are. So here, very important thing is connection before education. Many times in our communities, people tell me things. I will take one more minute. This
Fine,
is very
sir.
important
Okay.
concept and example. That my child was riding bicycle. He came home, and he said, "I am not going to ride bicycle again." Or the child was working with logo. He threw away all the pieces, and he said, "I'm not going to do it again." Or I also hear people saying that my child always want to win in the game, and there is a anger, sadness when that does not happen. And it can be impulse in parent that the child need to have a quality of acceptance, resonance, understanding. Okay. Immediately when the child comes, you try to change their emotions. Okay. That you need to accept. Hota hai, it happens. Don't give up. You can ride the bicycle. But in that moment, the choice can be to connect with empathy. Okay. So when the child came, okay, yeah, you are feeling very frustrated because you wanted to ride the cycle properly and it is not happening. You are feeling frustrated because you wanted this Lego game to be complete. Okay, that can be a choice. All the GAN and education, that can happen later when the connection has been established. So connection before education, empathy before education. Again, it will require 2-3 sessions to discuss this idea of empathy, which is also very important, beautiful. But that is the thing. And again, one more important concept. I discuss needs, and there is something called as in that needs. I have not written uh, needs like education, schooling, jobs, iPhone, car. Okay, we consider them as strategies. That is not core needs. Education, school, they help us meet our needs, deeper needs. Could be financial safety, company, friendships, or uh, you want to contribute to other people's well-being, or you get titles, president. The person is president, vice president. They will get their self-worth, appreciation, or meaning, purpose for life get made through this. So we can focus our attention on core needs. School is one strategy, homeschooling is one strategy, unschooling is one strategy. There can be different strategies to meet same needs. Like unschoolers, they also have need for this financial sustenance and all this. We call them as strategies. Like, so there
So
can be
on that
multiple
note, I think
strategies.
I'll have to take back the narrative, and I'll summarize what you just said.
Yeah.
Uh, we are looking at the whole world of needs from a beautiful summarization of what Sir said. From needs, the difference is what are today's needs, how you decide. The material thing could be strategies, and one of the key lessons, the bottom lesson, if I can, pin it, sir, on the group that we are together on, is empathy before education. If we can develop empathy, Muzaffar sir, thank you so much. You've given us so many values, and yes, I know for the positive time we can keep hearing you. I'll
Yeah.
if I'll request you, if this presentation can be shared,
Yeah.
then we'll love for you to share it in the group for some of the parents. And I'll have to put Sabia ma'am back in Ma'am, if you could come and thank a speaker because there's a small gift for you. We
Yeah.
always, have a
So can you
beautiful thing.
unshare your screen because we wanted to
Yeah,
share
sure.
something for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sabia ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Heartfelt thanks to Mr. Ved and Mr. Muzaffar for sharing their valuable time and inspiring words with us today. Your insights have truly enriched our understanding and made this event more meaningful. Here we present a certificate of appreciation for adding grace and importance to this event.
Right. Then. Thank you so much. We always read our placards. So, Muzaffar sir, thank you for being here, your valuable time. And all of you who wish to connect with Muzaffar sir, there is a homeschoolers group where he's very active in along with Sudha ma'am, two of the stars of our group, I would say. And yes, he lives in Pune. He's accessible on his WhatsApp. You can be part of the group and you can reach out to him. And everybody, thank you so much. Sabia ma'am, is that all that we have from your end?
We can
Thank
share
you.
a GSH video, sir,
If you want, yeah, okay. The last minute, I still have 1 minute before 8 o'clock. We are school people, so you can go for the GSS video. And thank you all for attending.
Welcome
Go
to
ahead.
Golden Sparrow Hub Schooling, India's premier accredited online school for nursery to grade 12 students. Offering a comprehensive NEOS and EDEXL-based curriculum, we provide 2 to 4 hours of live classes daily, ensuring personalized attention with class sizes limited to just 15 students. At Golden Sparrow, your child will join a vibrant, multicultural community, forging friendships across India, sharing diverse cultures, and celebrating festivals together. Say goodbye to the morning rush and traffic woes. Learning from home means reduced stress, lower costs, and more energy for both you and your child. Our esteemed educators from across the nation ensure a holistic education, blending academics with enriching extracurricular activities. Within just 3 to 6 months, 95% of our students exhibit remarkable academic improvement and embrace new extracurricular passions, boosting their confidence and self-assurance. We empower students to speak, participate, and express themselves, nurturing the leaders of tomorrow. Our proprietary online learning system offers a personalized experience with ebooks, videos, activities, and quizzes accessible. Teachers provide real-time feedback, regular parent-teacher meetings, and collaborate with you to chart your child's path to excellence. Join the future of education with Golden Sparrow Hub Schooling, where your child's learning and growth are celebrated with joy and pride. Enroll now. Visit www.hubschooling.com or call 91-836-992-4090. Your child's bright future starts today.
Right then. Thank you everybody for being part of this. Thank you all my students who've been part of it. Muzaffar sir, very enriching, very enlightened talk. I'm sure if there are more sessions coming up, we'll plan to a whole workshop with you. You know Urmila ma'am and Manish. I think we'll need to talk about it when we do it. Everybody, once again, Sabia ma'am, thank you. Golden Sparrow team, thank you for that. And the little girl who must have gone to bed,
Yeah.
we'll convey her thanks to her. Everybody, good night. Have a great week ahead.